What's up, everybody? This Jose with Oakland Latinos United, aka Oakland Latinos Unidos, on here with a new video, a new spiel for you guys to enjoy. Well, I know it's been a while since I've done an actual video. I've definitely been keeping up with my lives, but it's been a while since I did a video. But the reason I did this video is because I seen a very crazy story that's been going around YouTube. And I wanted to chime in, put in my 2 cents, especially me being a YouTube content creator, a YouTuber, who's been in the game for many years, I wanted to chime in and give my 2 cents about it because these are things that could legitimately affect me as well. But that being said, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the YouTube, murder that happened on a live stream between a feud or a rivalry between 2 YouTubers. And how these YouTube beefs can get out of hand and become deadly. You know what I mean? And this is a pure example of it. Now, this isn't the first time this has happened. There have been other YouTubers who have been taken out because of whatever they said online or controversies. But this one is pretty crazy when you deep down think of it, because it happened live on a YouTube feed. You know what I mean? And it looks like it happened in Las Vegas, Nevada. It looked like the rivalry was between 2 YouTubers. One was a Latino or Chicano, possibly a Chicano. I'm not sure what nationality was, but he looks Latino. Named Sin City Manny. And the other person was an African-American YouTuber, black YouTuber, named Finney the Legend, I believe. And I guess his wife was also part of his channel as well. I think they called her Bubbly, I heard. I'm not sure if that's what they called her. But, yeah. Unfortunately, the Finney the Legend and his wife were basically executed on a live in YouTube. And I've been trying to find like a lot of videos out there about what caused this rivalry. Why were these people at it with each other? Because I didn't understand. I wanted to make a video on the subject, but I didn't understand what it was. But I finally found one video. I'll see if I can go back and find it, and maybe I'll leave it in a link. But it was a black dude, and he was the only one that really gave an explanation of possibly how this beef started. I don't know where he got the information, but he said something to the effect that I guess Sin City Manny had a channel where he would go around Las Vegas and he would do live feeds, I think with his wife. And I think this Finney the Legend guy became a supporter of his channel. And, would donate to his channel, to the super chats when you're on a live. And I guess they became cool. And then somewhere down in 2023, some kind of beef happened between these 2. Now, I don't know what started the beef. Supposedly, I don't know, because they live far away from each other from what I've known. Sin City Manny lives in Las Vegas, and the guy, Finney the Legend, lives in Arizona, which that's not too far apart, but it is about 4 hours apart. So, you know what I mean? I don't know how they came in contact with each other, but supposedly Sin City Manny pepper sprayed Finney the Legend's wife. You know what I mean? And this is what caused this rivalry. I have no idea where that originated from. Hopefully more comes out on that. And I'm not sure if this is where the rivalry started, but apparently this Finney the Legend built a career on YouTube going after Sin City Manny. Supposedly the day before he passed, he did a 5-hour live where he was just talking mess about this Sin City Manny guy. Doxing him, making fun of him, making fun of his family. Even the wife of Sin City Finny the Great made a video where she said that she has a right to get into anyone's face. This is America, or something dumb like that. You know what I mean? I guess this goes back to the confrontation where she got pepper sprayed, possibly. You know what I mean? But, you know, it escalated. It escalated to a bad degree. And even Finny the Great said on the live that Sin City Manny, something was wrong with him up in the head. Now, I never watched Sin City Manny or Finny the Great, so I don't know anything about these content creators. I seen a couple other videos also say that the Sin City Manny dude looked like something was off in his head, you know what I mean? But even Finny the Great, before his demise, said that Sin City Manny was not all there, and that if he got his channel struck or something like that, and Sin City Manny would lose his channel, he probably would take himself out, you know what I mean? Commit suicide, basically. So obviously even Finny the Legend knew that Sin City Manny was not up there in the head, but yet he continued to push his buttons. Now, Finny the Legend, for whatever reason, went out to Las Vegas, knowing he had funk with this guy, Sin City Manny. You know, he posted that he was in Las Vegas, he was live feeding, and Sin City Manny took it as a sign of disrespect. So Sin City Manny went hunting for them, and he found them, I guess, in front of the Bellagio, and they were live feeding. And he walks up to them, says something, then he shoots Finny the Legend, and then apparently he shoots the wife as well on the live stream, on the live feed. Supposedly the live stream kept going until the police came and shut it off. And you know, this is tragic. You know, this is very tragic. It's a beef, it's a funk that should have never went that route. Now, I get it if there was some confrontation, they didn't like each other, okay. But why push an issue? Why dox someone? Why mess with someone that you know is not all there in the head, that you don't know what his potential or what kind of damage he potentially can do? You know what I mean? And then go to his city where you know he's at, where he could do something to you. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that Finny the Great deserved anything or his wife deserved any. No, that's preposterous. That was horrible. They didn't deserve to die like that. You know what I mean? And Sin City Manny didn't deserve to take them out like that. Sin City Manny's a criminal. He's a cold-blooded murderer. He killed 2 people in cold blood. You know what I mean? But I get the stupidity that created this. You know what I mean? It could have been prevented. It could have been prevented. And you know, as a YouTube content creator, you know, I look at a lot of these stories. Like, let's go back to Savage Studio. You know, that was back in, 2022 or 23 when he got taken out. But Savage Studio was another one who was starting beefs, threatening people, daring people to come fight him, dropping his location. And look what ultimately ended up happening. He ended up paying the ultimate price with his life. And the same thing happened with this Finny the Legend guy and his wife. They kept taunting this guy, underestimating this guy. That eventually this guy is the one that brought on their unfortunate demise. You know what I mean? And me as a YouTube content creator, as a YouTuber, as a YouTube influencer, you could say, I'm aware of that. That could happen even to me. Which is why I don't start dramas or beefs or funk or anything with people. I don't have time for it. I don't want to have an unfortunate end like that, or like Savage, or like other people. You know what I mean? Over something stupid and irrelevant. You know, I like doing YouTube. It's something that I like to do. You know, I'm not the biggest YouTuber. I don't have the biggest following, but I still like doing it. You know what I mean? But I gotta be careful of what I say and what I say and how I say it. You know what I mean? I gotta be careful at how I come at people, because I don't know who's watching my channel. I don't know who half of you are. You know what I mean? Sometimes I go out and I notice people double look at me. You know what I mean? I'm almost certain they recognize me from the channel, but they just don't say anything. I've also had people on live feeds and on comments say, hey, I seen you at so-and-so place, but I didn't say what's up. Again, you know what I mean? People know who I am. So I'm in my area. You know what I mean? I'm in the East Bay. I be in Oakland. I be all over the 510. You know, I'm in my home turf. And I don't have no issues with no one. And I like being able to walk around my home turf without having issues with anyone. You know what I mean? I don't want to create issues with anyone. Because I'm also aware that I live in a very active area. And there are some active down-ass dudes who are willing to take someone out to make a name for themselves. And I am well aware of that. I'm from the Oakland. I'm from the Bay. You know what I mean? I don't brag about these teams, but the crime statistics and the homicide rate speaks for itself. So I'm very aware of where I'm at. You know what I mean? Which is why I don't start dumb beefs or anything like that with people. Somebody say, well, you're scary, Jose. Yeah, I'm scary. I am scared to be taken out by some idiot. You know what I mean? I don't want that to happen. I care about my life. Do you? You know what I mean? But this story is a cautionary tale. You know what I mean? A very cautionary tale of what could happen. Now, my condolences to Finney the Great and his wife's family. You know, that's tragic. That's terrible. That a family has to bury two people. That's freaking tragic. And if they had kids, now you have parentless kids. You know? And that's tragic. And even the family of Sin City Manny, another tragedy, because now his wife, and if he possibly has kids, they're not going to have their dad. Because people forget, even the criminals sometimes destroy their families by their actions. You know what I mean? And I ask, is it worth it? A YouTube beef, a YouTube stupidity, is it worth getting your life taken over? And again, you know, I know if Sin City, if not Sin City, but the other dude, Finney the Great, could go back and change things, he probably would. Because he paid the ultimate price, unfortunately. Because of some dumb YouTube beef. He underestimated someone, which is what you don't do, especially in this day and age. Because it doesn't take a gangster to do something crazy to you. You could have a complete square nerd do something bad to you. All it takes is just to get a heater, and that's it. That's all she wrote. You know, but like I said, this is a cautionary tale. And, yeah, man, just tread lightly. Be careful what you say on YouTube. Don't do unnecessary stuff. Don't do too much. Like me, when people come on trolling my channel or making threats or saying something stupid, I just block them. I don't have time for it. I just block them, period. Point blank. You know? And, you know, if you hate me that much and you have such a problem with me over me making videos, then you need to question yourself. What's wrong with you? Why would you hate me? You don't even know me. It's not that serious. If there was someone out there that didn't like me, I'm saying. So, I don't know. That's just something I wanted to say. Leave it in the comments. Tell me what you think. This is Oakland Latinos. Jose, over and out.